Welcome back, everybody. My name is All Fun and Games. I stream every day on Twitch TV, and I also make fun little videos here on YouTube. Today, we're going to be talking about why caves can cause lag in Don't Starve Together. If you're playing Don't Starve Together and you are lagging a ton, you might consider actually loading your world without caves. And why the heck would you want to do this? As you know, of course, when you play a world, you more than likely want to have caves enabled because, of course, caves give you the option to explore more. But if you are pretty much lagging in your world, the first thing you can do to try to reduce this amount of lag is actually remove your caves. Let's talk about why this is actually happening and why your computer might be struggling a little bit, and here's why. The forest and the caves are actually two separate servers. Sounds funny, but it's true. They're not really two separate servers, but in a sense they really are. They run simultaneously, talking to each other, and when people are in the caves, they're able to load into the caves, which are actually talking to the overworld at the same time. Not really, though. What I mean by this is this. If you're above ground and your friends are in the caves, they're actually connected to a separate server. Then, when they go back up to a portal, that portal, aka the entrance to the caves, is now linked to the actual forest. So they're going from there to here, and vice versa. So, in your options, if you remove the caves, now you've limited your PC to only hosting one server, essentially saving yourself a lot of grief, and of course, limiting the amount of players that can actually connect to the server. Now, this is step one of trying to figure out how to make your game run a little bit better. Previously, I've showcased multiple other reasons, but let's just talk about why the caves cause so many problems. So, if you're playing with the caves, as I mentioned, it is hosting two servers at the same time. Your PC now has to generate everything that's going on behind the scenes, plus generate what's going on above the ground, and of course, this could end up causing a lot of problems with connections, especially if you don't have the best internet connection, and especially if you don't have the best PC. Now, some players find that, of course, if they go in the caves, sometimes it actually loads a lot better than the overworld, and of course that's because the overworld tends to have more than actually the caves. So what I would suggest doing is if you have players joining you, try to encourage them to be on the overworld with you and potentially go in the caves with you when you do. If you feel that that reduces lag, well then you know that it's because your PC is better at handling where everybody's connected to one shard, and that's what it's called. They call it a shard and not a server, but that's pretty much what it is. It's a server that they call the shard, which in Don't Starve Together terms, it makes sense. But of course, for anybody else, you might look at it and say, I have no idea what you're talking about. Just call it a server. So if you're above the world and you're playing above here and everybody else is, and then somebody decides to go in the caves and starts loading a bunch of stuff and you begin to lag, well, boom, you're going to know that caves are probably causing you issues. My recommendation, like I said, turn off caves. Once caves are disabled, then you try one more time. If everybody's loading perfectly fine, turn caves back on and try to tell everybody to, like I said, be above ground together, go down in the caves together, and so on and so on, especially if you're playing with a small group that can be maintained pretty easily. Now, there are ways to probably increase performance, but not really much, and those can be found in other videos. I don't really want to heavily focus on that, as I really wanted this video to showcase the comment that was left in my video about 4 days ago, where somebody asked a question about, do I need to have caves enabled on DST to play DST? Of course, you do not. You're not going to be able to do everything that you wish that you could do when you have caves enabled, but in this situation, it's worth it to increase performance. Go out there, give it a try, see how it feels, and of course, this is just a temporary fix to get you something other than obviously a bunch of lag and Don't Starve Together. Thanks again for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.